All right, let's do this. So, hello everyone. I know it's been a while since I have been here, been live, and brought a special guest, but this is something that I could not resist getting going straight away because as soon as I met this awesome human being, my life has changed in terms of email marketing. So I'm so excited for Peter, CEO of AmpJar, to be here and share some knowledge with you to help you make a greater impact when it comes to your email marketing. So let's jump right into things. Here is Peter from AmpJar. Just to give you a quick background, he ran a very successful social media agency from 2009 to 2016, worked with some awesome companies like Burt's Bees, Clarins, Bior, and Tony and Burke, or Bianco, not Tony and Burke. Oh my goodness. Anyway, and then sold it before building this awesome new platform called AmpJar. So without further ado, here is Peter. Oh, he's coming. Here he is. And unmuted.
Countdown. Beautiful.
There you are. Cool. So thank you so much, Peter, for being here. Honestly, so awesome to have you here and just to share some of your top tips when it comes to email marketing. Because I know for me in particular, and I know for my clients, and I'm sure many people within this community, email marketing can seem super overwhelming. And I know we don't have to make it that. So I'd love for you to just jump right in and maybe give a little bit of a background if you want to go more deeper into who you are and why you're passionate about this, and then share some tips with everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we're passionate about this because I think when I was running the agency, we knew how well email marketing worked for everyone. So when we were running email marketing for brands, it was always the thing that drove the most traffic and drove the most sales. And it really wasn't rocket science, because what was happening was a brand would pay us to build their social content and share content through their social channels. And they would pay us it was always about something like $500 to $750 to build email campaigns for them. And this was like money for jam. Like, it was the easiest thing in the world because we already knew what worked on their social channels and we knew what their customers liked. So we just took an image, resized it a little bit, put it in the email, and dropped a bit of text in there, and it was like maybe 3 hours work.
That's great.
And then what happened was when we decided to, it worked for us. And then when we decided to, and to be honest, it really worked for the brands as well, because it was always the thing that drove the most sales. And so then as we came towards the point where we'd run our agency, we actually had little twin girls. And so my wife and I worked in the agency together. We ran the agency. And so when our girls came along, we decided that it was time for Maria to step out of the business so she could spend some more time with the kids. And after being with the kids for a bit of time, she didn't want to come back and manage a bunch of 23-year-old girls who were working with us. She was kind of over that. And so what happened was we kind of got really excited about one thing in particular, is that Maria started to shop with all of these really interesting brands that deliver really authentic experiences to their customers. And so what we found was that they were really good at building great social relationships and sharing great social content, but they were pretty bad at everything else. They weren't really doing things like email marketing, even though the value was there. So yeah, we decided to build AmpJar because we knew that there's a really simple way here to take a brand's most popular social content and build email campaigns with it and take that scariness out of email. And we know that email otherwise takes hours and hours and hours to build an email, and you worry about what you're going to do and what you're going to say, but we just try to simplify the process. So that's the very quick snapshot story of what we're doing. Yeah, always happy to talk about more if there's anything more you want to know about that.
It's so good. And honestly, as a user, it has made it so much easier. I think I've sent more emails in the last month than I have in the last year, which is really sad. So it's been good. It's been so helpful. And yeah, so thank you for recognizing that opportunity and trying to make it as easy as possible for people who spend so much time creating their social media content already. It just makes life, oh, it's so good. Anyway, I could rave on and on and on about it, but I think what everyone's here for is for you to share some tips. So what would you say is the first tip when it comes to working on your email marketing and not feeling overwhelmed by it?
So the title of this one I wrote down was "Do Your Work on Subject Lines and Send Times." So subject lines and send times are really valuable, mostly because when someone gets an email is incredibly important, and how you introduce that email, that one thing that you get to say that means they're going to open it or not, is critical. So, and it's the question we get asked more than anything is, yeah, but when should I send my emails? When should I send my emails? Like, what's the perfect time? And everyone's looking for that like miracle thing that's like, oh, so there's this secret time where it's 5:27 on a Wednesday. Like it doesn't, unfortunately, it doesn't exist. And the horrible answer for send times is it depends. It depends on your brand. And so I think it's just about keeping an eye on who your customer is and when they shop with you. So if you find that your traffic peaks at certain times of day or certain times of the week, that's your send time. If you find that you get certain, if it's sales or whatever the notification is, if it's traffic, if it's just activity that you see, go with that time. So one thing that's really counterintuitive is Sunday nights is a really great send time for people who talk to parents. And you'd look at that and say, that doesn't make any sense. Like Sunday night, they're not working, they're doing their own thing. But actually what happens is the kids are in bed, you finally sit down at the end of the weekend and you've got your phone in your hand and you've got Netflix on the TV in front of you and you do what you want to do. And so we actually find that one of the most popular send times is 8 p.m. on a Sunday night, or even later, like 8:30 p.m. on a Sunday night. So think about that. And just once you've done it once, you don't need to think about it again. Pick your send time and stick to it. And then subject lines, just keep it short and snappy. What you don't want to do is you don't want to send out a subject line which betrays trust. Now, what I mean by that is if you say to someone, oh my God, we've got the most exciting thing to share with you, it's amazing, and they come inside your email and it's not exciting or amazing, then next time they're going to take what you say with a pinch of salt. So subject lines are super honest and short and direct.
That's so helpful. And honestly, that makes so much sense. The Sunday night, especially for me and my, clients, they're all basically moms, like you said, with school kids. Right. So that is a no-brainer. And even if they miss it on Sunday night, it'd be one of the first emails in their inbox on Monday morning if they are someone who is able to step away from their phone and their email during the weekend. So that's great. That's such a great tip. So what about tip number 2?
Yeah, number 2. So stop taking email so seriously. Like really I know people get a little scared of it as a platform and it's like, okay, I need to really run up to this. We've got to take our time to get there. We want to try to find the perfect messaging. Like we need to make sure that we don't annoy people too much with this. Like we've all signed up to email lists that send an email 4 times a week. And sometimes it's too much, and I get that totally, but don't think that what you're going to send to people is going to annoy them if you're not sending stuff that's going to annoy them. If you're sending stuff to them that's just shop now, shop now, shop now, shop now, shop now, then yeah, I don't want to get that 3 times a week. But if you're sending something that's full of personality and talks about you and talks about something that's funny or something that's interesting, and again, if you're powering that with stuff that that works on social, it works. Because you don't want to be hit with shop now, shop now, shop now all the time. You want to be hit with, oh, this is just a nice little slice of fun in my inbox. Like, this is great. So don't worry about email too much. It's something that has got really high value for you, and you don't need to stress about it.
Absolutely. And I think another way to look at it is if you wouldn't want to get that email yourself, you probably should just double check on everything, because I know time and time again, I go through my own emails and I'm like, wow, that was really lengthy. And I really should cut that down to be a little bit more bite-sized, because I know me and I know I wouldn't read the whole thing. So, just looking at it from your customer's point of view, be your customer and look at it from that lens, really.
And lengthy is okay. Some of the best emails I've ever seen are hyper personal and lengthy.
Yeah.
So if you're there writing something and you're telling a story and you're saying, hi Jill, I wouldn't normally send an email on a Saturday morning, but I had to get this out to you. We found this one thing yesterday that really blew our mind. And it's just something that's really interesting and goes down a path that people want to read. Sometimes a block of text that long, right? So
Absolutely.
think about, would you want to get that email in your inbox? Like you said, I think that's really smart.
Yeah, definitely. So tip number 3.
Yeah, tip number 3, the big guys spend a lot of their time trying to play small. So they're always saying, we're local this, we're local that, everything's very local. Come into your local Subway and your manager's name is this, this, and this. And so they try to do the things like that because it works. And people want to have authentic relationships with the brands and the organizations that they engage with. So one way to look at it is, well, why don't you do the things that the big guys wish they could do? Because we know it works. So the simple things is stuff like putting a personal sign off. So in your email, you should say, always have personalization. So in AmpJar, we just build it so it always has personalization. But it should say, hi, Pete, then block of text, and then sign it off with love, Miranda at the end. And just have your personality in there. Like, you can do those things. And so you sometimes, again, see emails that come from tech companies and the from name isn't just the company name, but it's like Bill from, I don't know, Apple. And so it comes across as that. And it doesn't just say Apple as the name, but it says Bill from Apple. And they do that because it works. And because people want that relationship, and it's like, oh yeah, I spoke with Bill the other day, oh yeah, I know who that is. Like, so it's finding the right way to do the things that the big guys wish they could do but can't. So be personal because you can do it.
Absolutely. Oh, I love that tip. That's such a good way to look at it as well. And like you said, with Subways, they're always trying to keep it local. Or even like car dealerships, like the big car dealerships that have many of them, like go see Fred in Sunshine Coast at this one. And it really, you can see from a big brand perspective when they're sending out their emails, they only wish they could do that because they have way too many people to worry about in terms of having that personal sign off. So that is such a great one. Anything else in terms of that sign off, or just what would you say? I guess a question that I would have is, when it comes to someone who's just getting started in email marketing, what do you think is the best way to, I guess, identify what the core message should be? I know it's different for every business, but what's a good way to go, okay, this would be a good first email to send out?
Yeah, the first email is a really interesting one. So I think what you need to do is you need to think, well, okay, what is my goal for this? And what can I do for my customers that's going to deliver something to them that they want at the same time? So again, this is where you can do the stuff that the big guys can't do. So for you to step up and say, hey, well, we decided to start sending out weekly newsletters or fortnightly newsletters, and just say this in this kind of wording. It's like, hey Jill, we decided to start sending out fortnightly or weekly newsletters. We're gonna send you a slice of what we think is the most interesting stuff. We promise it won't just be sell, but we're going to share some things with you which we hope you really like. And like, open it up and just say, my personal email address is this. If you ever have any ideas of the things that you want to see in these emails, then send us a note. And so, or send me a note, and keep it like direct and involved in that way. And just, if you start with that introduction, then what you'll get is you'll get a really good open rate on that first email, especially if you have the right subject line on it, which says something like, hey, we decided to do something new. If that's your subject line, keep it really casual. And then when they get in there, they'll have a read. And the worst thing that's going to happen on that is you're going to get some people unsubscribing, which is fine, because if they're not going to read the emails anyway, then you want them to unsubscribe. There's no loss there. You'd rather have a great list of 1,000 people than a list of 2,000 that's average, that's great, and then a lot of average people as well, because it hurts your deliverability. So I would just get out there and put something really personal out to them. And the worst thing that's going to happen is people are going to unsubscribe, or you're going to get a lot of emails from people saying, I want this, 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 and this, which is great. So yeah, I think go super personal in that first email, and then just keep that thread rolling.
Yeah, I know for the longest time, I actually am in the process of redoing my welcome email, but I actually used to ask people to reply with their top 3 concerns with marketing at the moment. And I got so many replies. It really made it like, oh, wow, people are actually reading them, first off, and they're happy to reply because they know I'm creating more of a conversation versus just sending them sales messages. So like you said, when they feel like they can hit reply to the actual person sending it, it really makes them want to read it and see what kind of value they're going to get from those messages and emails.
Definitely.
Cool. So I think now is the best time to invite everyone to the Social Greatness Community on AmpJar. I'd love for you to share a little bit more about what that means and what that can do for our community here that we have already.
Yeah, so the way that AmpJar works is that we are a system that allows brands to build emails really quickly and easily using your most popular social content. So the basic process is you tell us when you want to send out your emails, so it helps you stick to a time. So let's say it was Sunday at 8 p.m. Then what we do is 48 hours before that, our little system runs off, looks at all your best Instagram content and pulls that content into a pre-built email campaign. And then you jump in and you're not greeted with this like blank piece of paper that says you can send anything you want to send. You're greeted with a pre-built email campaign that has buttons and captions and a welcome part and images and everything that you really need in there. And then you can spend 15, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes editing the campaign. And so what you'll find is that the email will start off feeling like a bit of a digest of things that they might have missed that week. But what we're delivering is we're sharing content that we know is the most popular content. So it really, really works. We've got hundreds of brands using it, and it's a really simple way for you to start sending really powerful email campaigns. You can edit the campaign as much as you want. You can bring in non-Instagram images. You can make it look however you want it to look. But by us building it for you in advance, it just means you don't have to kind of step on that dance floor first and say, "Oh my God, what am I going to do?" So that's the core of AmpJar. And then what we have is we have the ability for brands to work together inside AmpJar. So what we mean by this is we know how important it is for brands to work together. And so the basic idea is we want to help people access more customers and get in front of more customers in a way that's really sustainable. So what we do is we have a way that one brand can create a little piece of content and put that piece of content into another brand's email campaign. So the advertising brand pays the host brand to go in their campaign, pays them in AMP credits, and then those AMP credits can then be used for the brand that hosted to put their content into another brand's email campaign. And so the idea is that it's this system of like pay it forward all the way through, people looking out for each other. And then the AMP credits have cash value as well. So if anyone's got a really great list and they've earned some credits and they don't want to place as many ads, well, then they can cash that out as well. So we try to make it like an economy where you can do that and you can be a part of this, but get rewarded for having a really strong database. And so the basic idea is now we've created a community for social greatness where it's just your type of brands in there together. So we've got a much broader community which is full of all these different types of brands doing all different types of things in different walks of life. But what we've done is we've created a private community which is your brands, where you can then choose to work with other brands that you know are all the things that you guys are. So ethical and really stand-up companies doing the right things, making the right kind of decisions. And so you can work with other brands that have customers that shop with brands like that. So yeah, that's the basic idea. So you can join through the link there, and then you'll automatically join the private community.
Awesome. Yeah, and I have absolutely loved it. And anyone who knows me knows how much I'm such a fan of like collaborating with different businesses. So this is just an awesome, easy way to collaborate with like-minded businesses that they might already have an audience that are your ideal buyers. I know I was talking on my Instagram story all about finding other people's communities that you can be a part of their conversations. And this is exactly that this is the perfect way really to just kind of give back to other businesses as well that might not have the same reach as you do. If you're a bit of a bigger brand, then you can say, oh, also, by the way, check out this awesome ethical baby clothes if you're a mom that just had a new baby and is looking for like organic cotton baby clothes. Like there's just so many amazing brands. And also I think I saw there's a couple nonprofits in there as well. I think I had one with Lip Timber, and there's like it's really great. It's really, really great. Even for bloggers, it's great for bloggers to kind of connect with different businesses that way as well. If you have that, it's a great way to really connect with people. And I've definitely found so many awesome brands just through scrolling through who's already using AmpJar. So this community is really going to just add that extra layer of building a community of purpose-driven, socially responsible entrepreneurs, just like what we've created here on Facebook.
Love it.
Cool. So anything else for us today, Peter?
Yeah, so what we'll do is make sure that anyone who came across got a little helping hand as well when you jump into the community. So anyone who joins is going to get 250 AMP credits to start. Now you won't really know what that means yet, but once you're in there, once you're inside AmpJar, what that means is that we're paying for your first ads that you can put out into other people's email campaigns. And so, yeah, the idea is that we're going to just give you a helping hand to get you started. So anyone who jumps across, we're giving you a whole 2-week free trial. So you can try it out free for 2 weeks, and then you'll get 250 AMP credits that you can use to spread the word. And yeah, I think what you said about helping out other brands is really interesting. So we actually asked some people recently, so why do you host content in your emails? And the number one reason was they like working with other brands that they love. They like introducing their customers to other really great people that look and act and feel like they do. And then the third one was that the third and least popular of the three choices was that they like getting paid. And the getting paid notion is more that by you hosting someone, then you get to spread your ad somewhere else. So it is this kind of what you give is what you get kind of community, and what you bring, if you bring in a really strong audience, well then that's worth more, and so then you get more in exchange. And so it's this whole big community piece of brands collaborating with each other. It's awesome. We've got hundreds of brands doing it now in lots of different categories, and yeah, I'd love to see this one really pick up and really like start off in a great way. And we're also around to help with demos and webinars as well. So we can walk you through demos. And as soon as you sign up, one of our team, we've got 2 people who will reach out to you, either Kia, who's based in actually I think really close to you on the...
She's in Cabarita. Yep, just around the corner from me.
Yeah, so it's a very nice part of the world. And so, yeah, Kia, who's based there, and then someone confusingly called Australia, who's based in LA. So,
no way.
So she's around to help anyone if that's the right time zone for them to talk at that kind of time of day. So yeah, Kia or Australia will be around to help you out.
Wonderful. Oh, and it's honestly, to anyone who's really struggling right now with email marketing, but knows they want to, they know that's the next step. Honestly, when it comes to marketing, we all know social media is definitely rented space. They can change the algorithm anytime at all. Whereas email marketing, it's yours. It's your database. It's your list of people. And this is just another way to communicate with the people that might want to buy from you and might want to learn more about who you are, because I know it's more and more people are becoming really conscious of who they're buying from, what kind of products. And we all know this within our community, but this is a great way to really kind of validate our own businesses when we get hosted in other people's emails campaigns, because that's pretty cool to think that other businesses might see ours and check out our little bio and go, oh, they're cool. Let me go and give them a little shout out. It's just really beautiful the way that it works. And I really encourage all of you to at least sign up for the 2 weeks free, because it just makes things so much easier in terms of trying to figure out what the heck you're going to send out every week. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you do any tutorials. And like Peter said, they've got plenty of amazing customer service. They've got workshops or webinars, not workshops, sorry. And yeah, they have so many resources. It's made it so easy for me to switch over. And yeah, I love it.
One last thing on the pricing, I think it's really good to get that out
Oh,
in
of course.
as well. So
Yep.
we have two pricing tiers. One is $20 a month and one is $50 a month.
Yep.
And so the $20 a month tier, you can send out as many emails as you want. And the $50 a month tier, you can send out as many emails as you want, just a big audience is. But you get $30 worth of free credits as well. So any extra dollar you put in over the 20, you get back as credits that you can use for advertising. So basically $20 a month. So we don't want to be kind of hiding this away, and it's not some out of control price point. It's something that's really manageable for everyone, and it's more about building that community.
Yeah, and for me, it was a no-brainer because the amount of time that I used to spend on trying to write my emails, like, was plenty. Like, when I looked at the billing hours that it would have been if I wasn't wasting time trying to figure out what to put in my emails, I was like, oh, well, I'm happy to pay this because I'm saving so much time. And I don't have to outsource it, because that was another thing I was looking at, was potentially outsourcing my email marketing. And for me, I was like, I mean, I really should be able to do this. Like, I should have it. But it was a time thing. That was the biggest thing. It was my time. I didn't have the time to really sit down and write those emails. So now, because it pre-makes them and I can just drag and drop and edit a little bit of text and send it out and schedule it out, it's just made things so much easier. So I definitely encourage you, if it's something that you've been thinking about adjusting and maybe changing up some things in terms of your email marketing, go have a look, go check it out. 2 weeks free, and let us know what you think, because yeah, I'm sure feedback is always so helpful in all businesses. So let us know and let Peter know. Cool. Well, thank you so much for being here, for sharing those 3 tips, and really just showcasing that email marketing doesn't have to be that difficult. You get to make it as easy as you want it, and you can really just customize it to your own personal likes, as well as your audience. So thank you so much. And yeah, I hope to see you guys within the AmpJar community.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.